Welcome back to In Ohio Country. Today we're at the Ron Becker farm here in west central Ohio. And Ron, tell us a little bit about this very unique animal you have behind us, not really indigenous to Ohio.
Well, they're Rocky Mountain elk, and we've had elk for about 10 or 11 years now.
Now these are some beautiful creatures. How many head of elk do you have back there?
We've got about 40 right now, and we've had as many as 105. But that's a little more than I want to handle. So it's kind of a hobby for me that we can hopefully be profitable with.
Well, let's talk about what profitability is there in elk. There's a couple different ways that you utilize these guys.
Well, the main sources of income are from sales of elk venison, which is, according to the USDA charts, it's just very healthy, high in protein, very low in cholesterol and saturated fat, and it's very tasty. And then there's velvet antler, where we harvest the antlers when they're about 70 days of growth, and then that is frozen immediately, and then it's dried in a certain way and processed into capsules, and it's used for arthritis remedies primarily. There is glucosamine and chondroitin sulfate naturally occurring in the elk antler, so it enters your body in a different way than some of the artificials.
You know, when we're looking for natural remedies these days, it's amazing how what goes around comes around. You know, back in the days when this area of Ohio was just being discovered and our ancestors were looking for remedies, they came across things like this, and now people are starting to go back to these home remedies and finding that there are natural benefits in these things.
Absolutely. Just like today, this morning, we were in the woods, and one of the guys got nettles on. So I looked around, and there was, it's called the Cure. It's jewelweed, and he munched some of that up and rubbed it on there, and it helps get rid of the itch. Just little things like that. It's kind of like elk. You know, they've used that in Asia for thousands of years for arthritis remedies and structure issues. I guess they probably looked at these huge animals that grow antlers that are 60 inches long. They grow them every year and in just over the summer. So they thought, you know, it's basically a bone. They probably thought, well, boy, there's got to be something good there for your bones. So, you know, they started using it in different ways, and they still to this day use it. And now more and more people are recognizing it in America. So we're just, it's just a different culture here. And, you know, I've been taking it myself for about 10 years, and look at me.
Well, let's talk about that. You got two wonderful benefits from these animals. The third is somewhat of a sportsmanship aspect of it. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Well, another thing that these animals are used for is hunting ranches, and they're released in large areas, and it's just another, it opens a door to more hunting opportunities. Today it has gotten so expensive to hunt because of the permits, and then to get a trophy animal. And young kids, you know, a lot of times father sons will go, and you know, it's just a neat aspect. It's another, it opens a door to another opportunity to hunt. These days, you know, there's more and more leased land, less and less places you can hunt. So, you know, it's just good for young hunters, and it's just another opportunity.
Yeah, and it exposes our Ohio community and the public to this beautiful animal. Because if you don't have the opportunity to go to Colorado or to Utah, you won't be able to see these beautiful creatures, and they certainly are beautiful. And as you mentioned, they're good eating.
Oh, they're very good. That's about all we eat. My wife's very health conscious, and she's always shoving healthy stuff down my neck. So, and something else that's interesting about the elk, a lot of people don't know this, but they're actually native to Ohio. And you know, of course, when the early armies were coming through, they had hunters that they hunted to feed the armies. And that pretty much wiped them out. I don't know when the last elk was seen here. And actually, the species that lived here in Ohio is actually extinct. But it's just kind of interesting. People don't realize that, but it's just a little neat side note.
Well, you've got a beautiful farm here, and you got some beautiful animals, and it's nice to see somebody at least giving back to the culture as far as the environment is concerned, with having these creatures here that people can not only enjoy on their table, but also enjoy for sporting purposes.
Absolutely.
Ron, thank you so very much for joining us.
Okay, no problem.